Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man Eeze. Morning walk. Hope you all are doing well out there. What we talking about today? Quite a few things. Yesterday, I was on Hip Hop Talks, and we had a discussion surrounded around Nas and Hit Boy's two trilogies, Magic and King's Disease. This is the thumbnail right here. Check it out, man. Over 5 hours of great insight, mature discourse. I think you all will enjoy it. And during the discussion, there was a great question asked whether or not Nas needs to start celebrating other albums outside of Illmatic, because Illmatic is the treatment, the great treatment, you know, as it should, but orchestras and fanfare and media loves it. But albums like It Was Written Stillmatic have both had 10 and 20-year anniversaries with no great rollout, orchestras, dedicated concerts, re-releases really that I can really think of. So my question to you is, should Nas start celebrating the other classics outside of Illmatic? We know Illmatic, once again, is global. It's celebrated by universities, even hip-hop casuals have an affinity for it because they've heard about it from someone else and they decided to listen to it, and it took on a life of its own. But like I stated, It Was Written gets no love. Not from the fans, I mean from Nas himself. Like, I think we need to celebrate that. That's almost 3 decades in that album. No celebration, Stillmatic. Over 2 decades, no celebration. I think those two albums, solo or combined, could definitely be the staples of a great show, a one-night only concert, whatever. But that was just something that came up during that discussion. Once again, this is the thumbnail right here. Go check it out. Over 5 hours of Nas and Hit Boy discussions and insight on their two trilogies. So once again, I ask you, should Nas and his team start celebrating his other bodies of work outside of Illmatic going forward? Because as we stated, if Nas doesn't celebrate himself, we all know that the media or the mainstream media won't. And at the end of the day, I know it's not about being a celebrity or being global or being the most celebrated rapper or popularity. But at the same time, we want our legends and icons uplifted. So it's just a thought that came to mind. Let me know what you think. Ransom and Apollo Brown, if you're listening, about 3 years ago, I sent out a tweet asking you two to link up for a potential collaboration. It works on paper. Both of you are hip hop through and through, and I think that this will give Ransom an opportunity to remain in this hip hop realm while also getting music with different textures, drums, with different dynamics, break beats, different melodies, different tempos, while remaining hip hop. Because I think Ransom has a different gear, writing wise or lyrically. And I think he's played it safe up until this point. Not to say the producers he's worked with aren't great or good, because that would be false. But I think Apollo Brown would be a perfect pairing to have Ransom tap into something different. That's just what my musical ear is telling me, because Apollo Brown, he really hasn't failed with any of the projects he's done. And if they work together, I could see the same outcome of, like, I don't know, no expectations, but maybe like the Easy Truth with Sky Zoo, which is a phenomenal album, coming up on 10 years and I'm still playing that. So once again, not to say they will make the same album or have the same outcome or put a classic together, but I think that Apollo Brown, a producer, could lend Ransom some new ideas or spark creativity and make a solid, effective, and a project that shows evolution and progression. Make that happen, fellas. Do it for hip hop. Recently, Scarface, arguably the greatest rapper in the South, Southern history that is, was on Club Shay Shay, and he stated that rappers only make approximately $4,000 for every million streams. And if you really quantify that and compare that to the way things used to be, as far as records go or physical copies go, that is not a very good number. But it got me to thinking, $4,000 for a million streams. And then I went on a Mass Appeal website to look at some Ghostface Supreme Clientele merchandise. And they have limited edition pieces of vinyl. 20 copies available for $200 each. You get you get $4,000 for a million streams. That just goes to show you the power in merchandise and having control over your product, your IP, intellectual property. Now granted, we're never going back to the way things were where you would go multi-platinum and each CD was $15 or cassette was $10. That's yesteryear. But you can come up with unique ways of, alleviating some of your losses. And I think it's been this way for quite some time, but it was just a great example to showcase to supporters who may not even be privy to this information, or even artists out there who may be discouraged of their Spotify monthly listeners or the amount of money they may be receiving from DistroKid based on their streaming. There are other ways out there. Build up your audience, your fan base, and sell directly to them. And your merchandise is the avenue to do that. Supreme Clientele 2, limited edition vinyl, being on the Mass Appeal website and selling out. That's encouraging to see. Also, don't be discouraged. There are other vinyls available. That was just a limited edition copies. But vinyl is still available in other merchandise, all right? So I had to say that because I don't want people to think that they can no longer support because everything's sold out. That's not the case. Just the limited edition copies are sold out. But artists out there, once again, you can get some bread. Just gotta hustle, work hard. And remember, anything is possible with sheer hard work and patience. It's your man Eeze at the Eeze Experience. I appreciate you out there. Go get your share.
Hey yo, Eeze. Hey yo, Eeze. Hey yo, Eeze.